All right, here we go. Here we go. A Stranger's Child. That's the movie we're doing this time. This movie is 1 hour, 28 minutes. It is directed by Monica Mitchell, written by Helen Marsh, starring Jessica Lowndes as Donna, Zibby Allen as Amira, Brad Harder as Mason, and Clayton James as Leon. Woo! This movie here. It starts off. Now, the main character, Donna, she's narrating the movie. So, to give you a little clarity, but there are some scenes in the beginning where she's driving and narrating, but I don't really know why they're showing these scenes, because I guess it's current time, but it's not really current time. And there's nothing really happening in these scenes, but she's narrating. She's talking about losing someone, so apparently somebody died. That's what we know at this moment. And then we flash back to a year ago, I believe. We see her throwing up in the toilet. I guess she's pregnant. That's what it's looking like, some morning sickness or something like that. And then her husband walks in. Now, this is one of the most miscast individuals I've ever seen in a while. They don't look like a good match at all. But anyway, and yes, they are expecting a baby. Times are tough, but they're making it work. He's working late, putting in extra hours. I'm assuming she's working. They have their own business. It's a moving company. So one night, he's driving home, right? And this lady calls him, this lady named Amira, and he's like, okay, what's wrong? She sounds very upset about something. And he's like, well, I'll meet you here and I'll pick you up. And so that's what we see him doing, driving to meet this lady named Amira. In some kind of way, he gets distracted. I think he was looking at baby names or something like that. And he crashes, and Amira's there. And I think they were trying to make it look like she caused the wreck, but the way they shot it, it was very confusing. I didn't know what was going on. So he got in the wreck in his work truck. She jumps out her car. He gets out the truck, and I guess he's bleeding out the mouth, and he just dies right there in the street. And she just freaks out and drives off. And I'm like, what's that all about? Why wouldn't she stay and see what's wrong with the guy? So there's a lot of mystery and intrigue and confusion. And you would think the movie wouldn't be so confusing, because when they have like a narrator, it kind of helps you get into the story. It tells you things that it's hard to bring up during a regular conversation. So like a narrator is almost like a cheat in a way. I know it's a certain type of style of directing and presenting the story, but it's kind of a cheat in a way. They got the narrator, they're cheating, but we still don't understand what's going on. For some reason she drives off, he's dead in the street. The next scene is she's at home, the police arrive there, and they let her know that her husband died. He is out of here, finito. She has just joined the Widows Club. And then we go back to present day. She's driving, it's nighttime, she has her baby with her, she gets distracted some kind of way, and this heifer runs into the back of somebody. I'm like, what is going on with this family? They just keep crashing into people. They just cruising for a bruising. So she runs to the back of someone, and she's hospitalized, and she's in a coma for like 7 days. You gotta keep your eyes on the road, people. But anyway, what was weird, she was in a coma for 7 days, but she's narrating about a story parts of a story that she wasn't conscious of, which doesn't make sense, because some of the stuff she's talking about, she shouldn't even really know about. So I don't know what angle are they trying to tell this story. It's bad, y'all. It's bad. So anyway, we got to look over that. We can't get caught up on that because there's too many other things. You can't get focused on that. So while she's in a coma, her brother's taking care of the kid, I believe. Yes, her brother name is Mason. He's taking care of the kid. So I guess the baby made it out okay. That's good. Thank heaven. So while she's still sleeping, before she wakes up, we see her brother with the baby in the cafeteria at the hospital. And he's looking on his phone and he sees this couple talking about their baby went missing a certain amount of time ago. I forget the exact amount of time. And while he's sitting in there, it's a doctor and his wife, and his wife is Amira. Amira is the lady that was meeting up with her dead husband that night when he died. So I'm like, who are all these people and how are they connected? Total confusion. And so anyway, while he's sitting in the cafeteria looking at this on his phone, that doctor that happens to be working at that hospital happens to walk in there at the same time, and he sees him. He look at his phone, he sees him, he's like, oh my God. And so that's kind of like a moment to acknowledge that that doctor's around. So they dropping all these little tidbits of information, but with no, it's not it's not cohesive at all. So Donna wakes up, she doesn't recognize the baby. She's like, oh, I don't know the baby's name. She's having amnesia. So she doesn't understand a lot of things. She's all confused and bewildered and all that stuff. Understandably, I mean, you know, she's been in a coma and she hit her head apparently. So it makes sense. Yeah, she doesn't remember anything. She doesn't remember how old the baby is, anything. Her brother says that she told him that she had a miscarriage. But apparently she didn't, because bam, she got the baby right there. And she disappeared for a while and he couldn't find her. And so if she wouldn't have gotten that accident, he says that I would have never known you were back, because I figured you had to take some time away. So I guess they're not the closest siblings if she just disappears and he doesn't like go on a manhunt to figure out what's wrong with her or what's going on after she had a miscarriage and lost her husband. So bad brother. She keeps having flashbacks, trying to figure out what happened and what she's missing. And apparently she was obsessed about trying to figure out who was involved in the accident that killed her husband before she got in her accident. And she was just going around trying to find different clues and stuff. I guess, you know, she was playing detective. So she's starting to remember stuff like that. So later that night, her brother, Donna, they all at the house. Mason, Donna, and the babies all at the house. And this lady comes creeping up to the house with a hood on, trying to look through the windows and looking around and all that, and tries to come in the front door. I'm like, what the hell? And the alarm goes off. And then she gets out of there. But we do see that it's a mirror, and she tries to hurry up and get back home, and she sneaks in the house all quietly and try not to, awaken the doctor, her husband. And this is where we see the first sign of evil in this movie. You know, I'm always looking for these evil people doing ridiculous things. And so she's creeping in the house and she turns around and bam, the doctor's right there. Oh my God. And I think he trips her or something. The way they shot it, I don't know how it looked, but it looks like he tripped her, but I don't know. But she fell down and he was like right in her face. He accuses her of having an affair again. So apparently, Amira been out there, throwing that thing around like, dang, girl. And he threatens her to say if she doesn't stop cheating on him or having an affair, he's going to release the video of the accident that she was in. Apparently he has like some video that will make her look bad or something like that. And this scene was menacing as hell. This dude, he just looks like a villain. It's funny. So back at Donna's house, they are looking at the video footage and they realize it's a mirror. And Donna's like, what the hell is a mirror doing here? Apparently, I feel like I'm going to say apparently too much during this video. Donna and Amira used to be friends back in the days. And also Mason recognizes Amira because they dated at one time. And then Donna's like, yeah, we're not friends anymore because, you hit it and quit it. He pumped it and dumped it. That's the story. And I guess Amira was upset at one point or whatever in the past, and because they stopped seeing each other, and so Donna and Amira stopped being friends or whatever. And so Mason convinces Donna not to share the security footage with the police because the same day that Donna got in a wreck with her baby was the same day that Amira and her husband was saying that their baby went missing, and their baby looks a lot like Donna's baby. And so he doesn't want the police to put two and two together. Like, why is Amira at our house? So that's the reason why he convinces her not to show the police the video, because the police were on their way because of the attempted break-in. Okay, side note from this movie. This movie is written so badly. It's directed so badly. This movie was very difficult to watch. And I usually don't do this in the middle of the movie, in the middle of the review or the breakdown, but there were so many things that were inconsistent, and they laid out they gave us no idea about what was going on. The mystery wasn't even a mystery. It was just a bunch of just stuff out there. So it was very difficult for me to continue watching this movie, to be honest with you. But I was like, you know what? This is why I watch these movies, because they're so bad. This is one of the reasons why I watch them, because they're done so badly. They take some very serious topics and they do stories on them very badly most of the time. And so I say, you know what? This is why I call it guilty pleasure. So I'm going to push through and continue to watch this movie, because it is a mess. It is a pure mess. Even if you pay attention to it all the way through, it barely makes sense. I'm telling you. Anyway, we'll continue, and at the end, I'll explain a little more how what they tried to do and how bad they did it. But anyway, let's continue. At this point, we realize that Mason is a straight up liar. Kind of a scummy guy. If you really think about it, you'll see as time goes on, he's straight up lying, acting like he don't have anything to do with Amira, like he hasn't been communicating with her. And we know he's been communicating with her because Amira's husband saw Mason's information in his phone. So he knows that Mason is a person that his wife has been probably, cheating with, most likely. So he's been lying to his sister about what he knows. It's like, dude, why would you? Come on, man. And also, side note, Mason and Scott, Donna's ex-husband, they were best friends. I just want to throw that in there because nobody said they were best friends. Maybe that might make sense as to why Amira was calling Scott in the beginning to meet up with him. But there's no real reason that we understand at this point. So, I don't know. So, next, Donna goes to Mason's house to get some supplies, some diapers, because, he's been taking care of the baby. She goes over there. She goes in the apartment, and she's looking for her stuff. And all of a sudden, the doctor shows up at the apartment. He walks in there. She's in the other room. He walks into the front door. I guess she left the front door unlocked. He walks in there, and this dude, he just starts monologuing. He doesn't see anybody in the apartment, but he starts talking. Yes, I know you're in here. And then he goes in his wallet or in his jacket. He pulls out a little scapula. I'm like, what is he about to do? I guess he's looking for Mason because that's the person that's his wife been cheating on him with. And so he has a scapula ready to do something. And Donna hears this. She's in the other room. And so she kind of sneaks around and he's looking for somebody. He's monologuing. He's assuming that Mason is there. He walks out on the patio some reason because he can totally see that the patio is empty. So he opens up the slide door, goes out on the patio, and all of a sudden he's like, he got his back turned. Donna runs up behind him, pushes him down, slams the patio door shut, locks it, runs off. He never sees her. Now, the way he stood up after he got pushed down was the funny part. He got up like the Terminator. He's not a Terminator, gets up slow. They're not deliberate, or they're real deliberate. Why did he get up like that? He got up like the Terminator. A normal person would get up quickly. He got up slow and turned around. He didn't see her. She got out of there, of course. And so he uses like a credit card to unlock the patio door. She runs downstairs, runs to her truck. She looks at the truck. The front tires flat. Apparently the doctor flattened the front tire before he went up. We didn't see that, but that's what happened. I guess with his scapula. So instead of her, right now a bunch of silly stuff is about to happen that makes no sense. Instead of her running off to go find help, it's middle of the day. It's not, dark outside. There's people around. You see cars, stuff happening. Instead of running off to go find somebody, and she could have gotten in the truck and drove off with a flat tire. She could have drove slow, I guess, but she didn't. What she decided to do was get inside the passenger side of the truck, curl up in a ball, cover herself up with a blanket, and just sit there still. And so the doctor comes out looking like the Terminator, looking around. He walks up to the truck. He looks in there. He sees the blanket with her underneath it. And he starts knocking on the door. And he says, "Open up the door." And for some strange reason, she gets up and she unlocks the door. Why? Why would you unlock the door to this stranger? It makes no sense. This guy just came in the house making threatening tones, and he comes out, and now you open up the door for him. And as soon as she unlocked the door, he grabbed her and slung her on the ground. I'm like, what the hell? It was kind of funny because it was like, why is he being so rough with this lady? I guess she did push him, but it's like broad daylight. He slammed on the ground, and then he actually kicked her. He kicked the lady. I'm like, what in the hell? And she continued to go along. He was like, "What is your name?" And she said her full name. It's like, why is she giving this guy all of this information about herself? It was so weird. It made no sense. Oh my God. She doesn't scream or anything. She's cooperating. He says, "Get up before somebody see you acting like this. I'm looking for answers. Why would your husband be calling my wife in the middle of the night?" And she's like, "My husband wouldn't be calling you." And then he showed her on the phone. I can't stop thinking, like, why is she talking to this guy? Why is she cooperating with this man? She doesn't know him. He just dragged her out of her truck. He broke into her brother's apartment, dragged her out of her truck, kicked her. She gave him her full name. Why is she doing all this? It makes no sense at all. It's nonsensical. And so she's shocked to see that, damn, she did call my husband. And it doesn't really make sense why he's at her brother's house, I guess. I don't know. The information he's saying that he has, you would think that he would be at her house looking for her husband. But he knows that she's messing with Mason, so why is he saying, "Hey, your husband called me"? It's a bunch of, I'm telling you, this movie is terrible as far as making sense. It's terrible. This is one of the worst written movies. It's a simple story, but they're overcomplicating it by not giving the correct amount of information. Ugh. See, I usually wouldn't nitpick these movies to this degree, but this, you know what, I'm lying. I will nitpick the hell out of these movies. But this one is ridiculous. This one is like driving me kind of manic. This one is terrible. But anyway, let's go. So Donna goes home after this, and she tells her brother that the Dr. Leon, he came to your house and he tried to kill me. That's a lie. He didn't try to kill you. So she flat out lied about that, but I guess it doesn't matter because he was just doing some foul stuff, but he didn't like actually try to kill her. So, and she's telling her brother that my dead husband was cheating with a mirror, and she's all upset, and the brother's sitting there like, that brother, I think he's like villain number 2 of this movie. Because he's just withholding information. He's kind of making me sick right now, be honest with you. So she comes up with this harebrained idea to find out if Scott was cheating with a mirror. She has an app on her phone where if Scott would have went where she went, the app chimes and said, "Oh, your partner, your buddy on this app was here at one time." And so she wants to go to Amira and Leon's house with her phone to see if the app goes off to say that her dead husband Scott was there. And while it is going on, Mason is sitting there knowing that he's the one that was cheating with Amira, but he ain't saying nothing. He's just sitting there like a man, pissing me off. So, and even if he was cheating with Amira, who's to say he ever went to her house? So it's not even a foolproof plan. It's silly, but it's a mechanism to get her to their house. So they creep up to the house, baby in tow, baby just ride or die. While they doing their burglary or whatever, stalking. She creeping around the house, just like Amira was creeping around her house. Now she's creeping around Amira's house with the cell phone, trying to see if it'll go off. One of the stupid harebrained idea. It doesn't even matter if he was cheating. Like, why is she even care at this point? But anyway, and so the phone doesn't go off, but she does see Leon and Amira in the house, and they're having one of their arguments. These are some weird people. They're having some type of, it has a lot of sexual tension. She pulls out a knife and they're like, he slams her against the wall, and 1 minute he acts like he's gonna kill her. She acts like he's gonna kill him. It looks like they're getting turned on. She's already cheating on him. He's threatening to turn her in to go to jail. They have a very, I guess toxic is the only word you could use. I hate using that word now because people overuse it. They have a very toxic atmosphere. It's very, very weird stuff going on there. So they're in there fighting, and Donna sees it sees it happening, and Amira sees Donna, and she said, "Oh," so he has her pinned up against the wall. She's like, "Oh, somebody's out there." He's like, "Huh? Oh no, we was just about to have some fun." I don't know what they was about to do, but it was weird. And so, this is going to be a long video. And so, Donna runs off, gets in the truck, they leave. Oh, and the cameras was turned off at the house temporarily because he turned the cameras off so he could rough her ass up, I guess. They're weirdos. And so they skirt off. They go to call 911 because Donna is concerned about Amira because she saw her being manhandled. But I think Amira kind of likes it, to be honest. Saw her being manhandled, and so she goes to call the cops like down the street because they don't want to tie to their cell phones. They want to make an anonymous phone call. So they go to do that. The police end up showing up at their house. The same police that was at Donna's house. They only got and I think this police officer shows up like 2 other times. This same black guy, you're gonna see him a few times. But anyway, the same police officer shows up at their house, asking, is everything okay? And they're like, no, everything's fine, And so the next day, the DNA test came in for the baby because they're trying to figure out, I guess, more information about the baby. And she's so excited. She said, "Oh, I'm a match." And then Mason looks at the paperwork and he said, "Well, no, you're only 23% match." And she's like, what does this mean? I don't understand. And at this point, he decides to come clean and finally tells her that, hey, me and Amira were messing around and she got pregnant. So this is my baby. And I'm like, dude, how you got your sister running around? She got in a wreck. She lost her husband. She miscarried her baby. And you just holding all this information, like not saying anything. Like, this dude is straight up an asshole. He pissed me off. He claims that she said the doctor and her was about to split up. And he said he didn't know for sure that was his baby or not. So we'll say that. But he knew there was more to the story. So I guess he was curious about it too. But still, this guy is pissing me off. But nobody still knows why Donna has that baby. How did Donna get her hands on that baby? We don't know. They don't tell us anything. Of course, Donna is pissed because he didn't say anything, that little punk. And she's like, hey, you could at least told me that my dead husband wasn't cheating. Why would you let me believe that? And he's just sitting there like, oh no. Man, this guy is terrible. So the next day, or later that day, they decide to confront Amira at the grocery store. How did they know she was going to be there? I don't know. Or did they happen to see her there? I don't know. But they confront her at the grocery store. Well, Donna confronts Amira by herself at first. and she was like, "What's going on? Why do I have your baby and you were with my brother?" And Amira's like, "You don't remember?" So they're in the hospital together. I guess when Donna got in her wreck, Amira, they were in the hospital together and they agreed that she would take the baby. And because I guess she told her that it was her brother's baby. I'm not sure, guys. She would take the baby, and she agreed to that because she was trying to protect the baby from the doctor, Leon, because he knew that she was cheating. And so she pretended like the baby was missing, but she actually gave the baby to Donna. And then Donna ended up getting in a wreck. But so, okay, maybe she was in the hospital with her when she was having a miscarriage. And that's when she had that conversation. She was like, "Okay, I don't deserve this baby. You deserve a baby. Because your baby died. This baby needs protection. And so you take it." So I don't know if she told her that was going to be her niece or nephew or whatever. But she offered to give her the baby in the hospital. So bizarre story. So bizarre. The amnesia, I guess, wiped it all out. All of a sudden, Mason runs up with the baby and he's trying to like talk to Amira, and she's like, "I don't want to see the baby. Oh, I have to go." And she runs off. And so they don't really have much of a conversation. So later that day, the doctor catches Amira in a lie and blah, 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 blah. He ended up drugging her, knocking her out, ties her to the bed. So we're getting to the climax, folks. Ties her to the bed. She wakes up. Leon's nowhere to be found. She's freaking out. It was crazy. It was crazy. But it's been so many things happening. It doesn't even feel like a climax to me. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. She's laying in the bed tied up, and she remembers Alexa's right there. So she uses Alexa while she's tied up. "Alexa, call Donna." It's like, what? She's still afraid to talk to the police because she's worried about that video with her in that accident where she left Scott dead. So she wants to call Donna of all people. So she calls Donna. She rushes over there to the house. While this is happening, Leon is going to Donna's house to go and I guess get the baby and confront Mason. And so she unties her at the same time at her house. Leon has the baby. I guess he thinks it's his. I don't know if he thinks it's the illegitimate baby or it's confusing. And he pistol whips Mason, which he deserved to get a little pistol whipping after all the lying and BS he been doing. Donna and Amira get back to Donna's house. They find Mason ass knocked out or beat up on the floor. And so at this point, Amira goes back to her house to, I guess, get the baby from her husband or something. And then Donna and Mason, they go to the hospital so he can get checked up for, getting beat across the head. It's a lot going on, but nothing really. Mason gets to the hospital. He's tired of all of this. He wants to put it all out there. He says he's going to talk to the police and tell them everything. He decides to tell them everything. And Donna's like, "I don't know. We should do it now." She's the one that wants the secrecy now because she's afraid of, I guess, getting Amira in trouble, getting in trouble for having a baby. It's just so many things. So Leon threatens Amira that he's going to tell Donna that she's the reason why her husband is dead because he has that footage, that CCTV footage of her causing the wreck with Donna's husband. Yes, that's what he said. I'm running out of steam here, folks. While all of this is happening, the police show up at Leon and Amira's house, and Amira sneaks out the back door with the baby, and the police are interrogating Dr. Leon because Mason told them everything. I'm not going to tell you what they said because it was a lot, but everything. And she runs off with the baby. Leon sneaks away from the cops for a second. He calls Donna, tells Donna to tell Mason to drop the charges or he's going to hurt the baby And he tells Donna if she convinces Mason to drop the charges, she'll let her know who killed her husband. So all of this going on. And apparently, that was that word again, Mason drops the charges. Which, yeah, that happens. And when Donna goes to Leon's house, he shows her the video of Amira causing her husband's death. And she's like, I can't believe this. She gets all mad. He gives her a gun. He said, here you go. Like, he gives her a gun to go kill his wife. Go find her. And so his wife has the baby too. So it's like, he said, here's, you can track her with this phone or whatever. So Amira's like pissed. No, Donna's pissed, and she's going after Amira at this point. Yes. Amira's speeding out of town. I guess she runs out of gas. Donna catches up with her. She jumps out of the car, leaves the baby in the car, starts running off to the woods. Amira starts running off to the woods, and Donna starts shooting at her. I'm like, damn, Donna just gonna go and kill her? Then what? How you gonna? So she that mad she gonna kill her over the accident. I guess it's the betrayal, but she turned into a villain because the average person is not gonna get a gun and try to go kill somebody just like that. We never seen Donna as a killer, so that didn't really fit. But she went to chasing her and shooting at her. Like she was trying to take her out. That shit was crazy. And she misses her a bunch of times. She catches up with her. She tackles her. And she starts choking. Starts choking her ass. Like Homer Simpson, Bart Simpson start choking her. And she's like, Scott told me to run. You know Scott, the miscast husband? Scott, he told me to run. And she's like, what? Yes, he told me to run because he didn't want me to get in trouble or something like that shit. And after this point, she kind of stopped choking her. For real? You serious, girl? Oh my God. Oh my God. It's crazy. Well, before she forgives her, she tells her the whole story. That night, Leon and Amira got into it. He found out she was cheating. He found out she was pregnant. She runs off. He's chasing her. And she calls Scott because she didn't want to call Mason because she knew that Leon could track her phone calls. So she tried to call somebody that wouldn't be connected to him. She thought she lost him. She went to go meet up with Scott. And when she met up with Scott, it wasn't her that caused the accident. It was actually Leon. He was off camera. He was pointing a gun at her off camera. And that caused Scott to run off the road some kind of ways. It doesn't make sense, but that's what they said that happened. So we're going to go with it. That's what happened. She didn't cause the accident. Her husband did. He was chasing her. And then Scott figured out something was wrong because so he told her to run. He said, run. So she didn't run from the accident because she was just leaving him. Scott told her to run. He probably didn't think he was going to die, though. We'll say that. So then, after she finds out the truth, and she believes him, why? Okay. She forgives her. So they're together now, and Leon shows up. He found them two, and he starts shooting at both of them. In some kind of way, they overpowered him. So it was so weird. If you got a gun, I don't know how that could happen. This is a big dude. He's a tall dude, and they hit him over the head with something. He was disorientated, and some kind of way they overpowered him. That didn't make a lot of sense, but at this point, I don't care. But it's funny though. So they overpowered him. The police showed up. They arrested him. Then we fast forward 9 months later. Yes. And they're having a birthday party for Mason and Amira's baby. They're together now. I guess they worked it out. The doctor's in jail or whatever. I guess she got all this money too. So they're together. They're having a birthday party at Donna's house. The end. Happy story over. Okay. Why this movie was so terrible? I'm not a professional writer. I don't make movies. I know how hard it is to make a movie. But what they tried to do is I think it's called like a mystery box, where you have all of these questions and where you don't have any answers, and you think the story is going one way, but then it turns out it's a whole different way. That's what they were trying to do. But they didn't leave the breadcrumbs that they left, they only meant confusion. They didn't lay out a different story to then be like, oh, that's not what happened. This is what happened. They just didn't tell us shit. And then they explained everything at the end. Oh, he was chasing me. He found out I was pregnant. He the one that caused the accident. All of that information right there was the movie. This movie was very simple, but they left out all of that little information and just confused the hell out of you and made you have to watch it twice to even understand it. And I had to watch this damn movie twice, 2 times and a half. This terrible movie. So I know what they were trying to do, but the execution was terrible. It was terrible. So I don't advise this movie, but now you know. Now you know. And if you have watched it, now you could be in pain with me. So if I had to rate this movie 1 to 10, I would give this movie a 3, because there was some funny parts in there. When that doctor attacked her, when he was acting like Terminator, when he was just having these weird sexual tension arguments with his wife, all of that was hilarious. There's some funny parts in there. Yeah, but what you'd expect, it's one of these type of movies. But yes, Guilty Pleasure Reviews. This is AD. This was a tough one. It was a long one. If you watched the whole thing, God bless you. Hope I covered everything. But this movie is exhausting. It took me forever to do this video. I didn't want to do it. I almost gave up. So anyway, I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.